As the end of 2022 approaches and 2023 approaches quickly, we will soon be celebrating New Year's Eve. When it comes to 2023, there are many things to be excited about. Gamers have a particularly exciting year ahead. For Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo holders, 2023 could prove to be more productive and profitable than 2022 was, but Nintendo might have the best chance of dominating the race. Let's start by talking about some of the upcoming releases for Nintendo. From the outside, it appears as if Nintendo doesn't really have a lot in store for their fans in the upcoming year, but think again. A new Zelda game, titled Tears of the Kingdom, is set to be released next year, and as we know from experience, whenever a new Zelda game is planned for launch, no other game comes even close to its success. Zelda's come out on top time and time again. Then you've got the long-awaited Metroid 4, a game that has been developing for way longer than anticipated. It was announced in 2017, and its development was restarted in 2019. It's been 3 years, and it still hasn't seen the light of day. Last year's Metroid Dread proved that people really want new Metroid games, so we're expecting this one to be a huge hit as well. Next, let's talk a bit about the Nintendo Switch entering its 6th year in 2023. Despite being pretty old in console years, the number of amazing games headed to the console aren't slowing down. If anything, some of the most anticipated ones for the last few years are actually finally about to be released. We're talking about open-world action adventures, life sims, strategy games, and many exciting genres. We mentioned a few titles earlier, but there's a lot more in store. For example, some other notable 2023 releases include Pokémon, Aim to be a Pokémon Master, Fire Emblem Engage, Tales of Symphonia Remastered, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, Octopath Traveler 2, Bayonetta Origins, Caesarea, and The Lost Demon, Atelier Ryza 3, and Pikmin 4. Even Hogwarts Legacy is getting a Nintendo Switch release. With a launch date of July 25, 2023, this game is perhaps one that has gamers most divided. The controversy around the game has risen because of J.K. Rowling's most recent social media remarks regarding LGBTQ+ persons. Regardless, the game is still well on its way and has quite a fan following. Still, other games we're expecting include Disney Illusion Island, a silly little platforming adventure, Hollow Knight, Silksong, and Minecraft Legends. We're definitely missing a few, but you get the idea. There's a wide range of genres to look forward to, from open-world adventures to multiplayer platformers. Regardless of your playing preference, you're bound to find a title that you can experience and enjoy. All that is well and good, but what could potentially make Nintendo actually stand out from other console competitors is the upcoming new Switch console. The current one has been in the market since 2017, but now it feels like its time is coming to an end. The revelation of the new console might just be Nintendo's trump card. Sources seem to offer different reports on what kind of specs we can expect to see in the upcoming Switch. Most of them agree that we're likely to see support for 4K resolutions in docked mode and a much better battery life. Likely when docked, the console will have a coprocessor to upmix a 1080p video feed into a 4K output. On top of all that, a newer probe into Switch firmware has revealed a line that could indicate the potential for a 4K output over a DisplayPort over USB 3.0. We've also heard of some pretty reliable sources that 11 developers currently possess 4K toolkits supplied by Nintendo. This would strongly suggest that the company is at least considering releasing a Switch that can output in 4K, even though Nintendo quickly released a statement denying the accuracy of the reporting. Some other rumors suggest the new console might have also some more controversial features. They say that it will feature significant hardware improvements, including a custom NVIDIA Tegra Xavier processor, 64GB SSD storage, and 4K support. The obvious downside to these specs is that the post also suggested that the new console will be a TV-only system aimed primarily at users who are looking for a more traditional gaming setup. That said, even if they decide to give this one a new name, we know that we can expect some type of new Nintendo console in 2023, so that's super exciting. Now let's move on to compare the gaming giant's performance against competitors. Nintendo, the latest of the big three console manufacturers to report this quarter, right behind Microsoft and Sony, shared its fiscal 2023 second quarter results a few days ago. It's mostly good news for the company, since sales and operating profit have gained. At the same time, though, it has dashed with cautionary signals and statistics. There's an upside to that, though, partially due to the yen's continued weakness, while headwinds on the supply chain and an aging life cycle show clear signs of a console business slowdown. According to headlines, the Switch passed yet another sales milestone this quarter, while Splatoon 3 made a pretty big splash for consumers following its release just a few years ago. Regarding hardware, the Switch's lifetime sales reached 114.33 million after the company shipped 3.22 in the 3 months ending September 2022. This made it the third home console to pass the 114 million mark. All in all, we've got some pretty great numbers, and we're not going to be surprised to see them lead the way this upcoming year. Now let's get into Nintendo's current success and trends in gaming. It was recently announced that the Nintendo Switch had more lifetime sales than the PS4 in the US. This makes the handheld console the fourth best-selling console in all of history, only outnumbered by the sales of the PS2, Xbox 360, and Nintendo Wii consoles. So what does this success tell us about the current state of affairs in console gaming? And what exactly does the future of console gaming look like? Well, it seems like more than ever, people need some lighthearted escapism, which is what the Switch offers more than the PS4. Yes, the PS4 does have some more child-friendly games, but Nintendo made its name with child-appropriate consoles. We mean, who's going to buy a PS4 just so they can play Crash Bandicoot? Let's not forget the nostalgia card. Many of us no doubt remember endless hours of fun training virtual pets on the Nintendo DS or trying to beat the Mii at every sport on Wii Sports Resort. They were the ideal comfort games, and we could really use some of that at this point in time. They even broke a sales record with their new Pokemon games on Switch. It scored 10 million sales globally in just the first 3 days. Can you imagine? That makes it the company's biggest debut on any platform ever. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet were released at the same time in mid-November and sold over 4 million units at home in Japan. That set a new domestic record. The games were the same except for each version's lineup of characters and collectibles. Nintendo only recently reached its last domestic sales high with the more than well-received Splatoon 3 in September 2022. Just a few days after the announcement, the company's shares were up as much as 1.9% in Tokyo. We can't leave without talking about how great of a job Nintendo has done with invigorating its older titles. 2012 saw the release of the final Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Character DLC in the form of Kingdom Hearts Sora. Nintendo's All-Star Brawler has sold a shocking 25.71 million units in total, and the game's crossover-heavy DLC announcements have continued to give fans new content to enjoy. Animal Cross New Horizons was another game that received a significant new piece of DLC. It was released just a few weeks ago and ended up ensuring that the 35 million people who picked up this title had hours on end of new content to play. Sadly though, Nintendo has yet to release any Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC, despite it being a golden opportunity to do it. All we can do is wait and hope that the company has a title waiting at the pit stop and ready to go in just a few years. Also, we can't forget Nintendo's most significant release for 2023, the Nintendo Switch OLED. This is a significantly refined and improved version of its existing hardware. The console's biggest selling point is its beautiful 7-inch OLED display that is capable of perfect blacks and far more vibrant and rich colors than the older LCD panel. It also comes with an improved kickstand, better speakers, and more internal storage. The Switch OLED model is the fourth iteration of the Switch so far. Before that, in 2018, the Nintendo Switch Lite, a portable-only version, was released. Finally, let's get into the predictions we have for the year ahead. Japanese entertainment giants like Sony offered cautious forecasts for the upcoming year for Nintendo, especially as demand started to waver over the course of the past year. As for Nintendo, they sliced 10% off their fiscal Switch console sales forecast a few days ago, referring to prolonged shortages in chip supply as part of the reason. Company executives, though, have said they are still confident that the Switch will remain appealing despite its age. Essentially, Nintendo's success can be attributed to several factors that have come together in favor of the console. Its hybrid capabilities allow it to appeal to a wide customer base and get plenty of support from both first-party and third-party developers. All this, along with a few events outside of Nintendo's control, ultimately created the perfect conditions for the console to succeed, and probably to continue succeeding well into the next year. That's a wrap for this video. What upcoming Nintendo releases are you most excited about? Do you think this console is better than the rest we briefly talked about in the video? Let us know in the comments below. If you liked our video, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Share this video with your family and with your friends, and please subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Hit that notification bell icon to be notified whenever we upload new videos on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video.